it's a goal. Oh, he's football crazy, he's football mad. And the football it has robbed him all the wee bit since he hadn't it would take a dozen skivvies. His clays to wash and scrub since Sir Jock became a member of that terrible football club.
Oh, do you remember that one? My mum used to play that one for me. So, ladies and, well, listeners, I should say, listeners, he's here again in the studio. He's got something more to plug. Yes, he's a man. He's always busy, always on the go. He's George Jessup, and he's going to talk to us today about the Neutral Fans Association for football lovers like myself. George, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm very well, and can I just say what a pleasure it is to be here again. Delighted to be able to tell you about it's a project which has been decades in the making, which has now come to fruition. I'm very excited about it. It's an idea which is called Neutral Zone, and I'm one of what I know to be a huge number of people who love going to watch football, but for one reason or another are not affiliated, don't want to be affiliated to a particular football team, but still want to enjoy the full fan experience.
I don't know anyone like that.
Well, I can tell you that our sign-up has been very, very encouraging.
What was your eureka moment?
There's a series of eureka moments. First was my getting into football, and as you know, I have had an academic career in sociology. When I was at Oxford doing my postgraduate diploma, the very eminent anthropologist Desmond Morris was doing his PhD at Oxford University and getting very, very interested in football. And he published a book. I don't know if you know it. Have you run across this book called The Soccer Tribe?
It rings a bell.
Very influential study that he did. He compares the behaviour in all facets of the football experience to the tribal behaviour to be found in all kinds of cultures all over the world at all kinds of times.
So blindingly obvious.
Well, it might be blindingly obvious now, but were it not for his insights, it possibly would not be. He became interested in stadia as the great temples of all of this, which is a working class pursuit followed in parts of cities which were becoming more and more run down.
So nothing new then. Where does your association come in?
I started going to football, keen to observe with a similar kind of eye. For example, one of his claims is that football violence is largely rictualised.
So you went there like as a sociologist?
Well, I mean, I went there as a lover of football.
How old were you?
Sorry?
How old were you?
Well, I was in my early 20s at the time, early to mid-20s. I regularly went to football 2 or 3 times a season sometimes.
What game was it?
In my mid-20s, I used to go and see Oxford United. And I was very, very interested, for example, in this observation that football violence is massively ritualised, and that for all of the shows of aggression and the chasing around and the chanting and the shouting, actually, it's very, very rare that anybody gets hurt. Was his?
Well, I don't know about that, George.
I can tell you that.
We were down there in '75. We battered them. Cup game, I think it was.
Sorry, who's we?
The North End. Preston. Preston.
Okay. Well, a little before my time, but then you are a little older than me.
That's true, and also I did start going to football at a normal age.
Which, in your part of the country, is what? 6. Oh, okay. Right. Well, shall we move on?
I'd love to.
I mean, I would just like to stress that it's exactly this sort of one-upmanship that I believe that sensible football fans shouldn't have to put up with, hence my coming up with the neutral zone. And I'll explain my reasoning a little more as we proceed.
George, you know, I'm happy to have you on the show. We always have a lively discussion, but I'm failing to connect here. Part of the reason for going to Preston North End, and I still go down there whenever I can, is to have a pop at the opposition. If it were donkey beaters or whoever it is.
Can I ask you how old you are now?
Yes, I'm 63 now.
And you still go to watch Preston North End spoiling for a fight?
I'm not spoiling for a fight. It's part of the atmosphere. You know, on the TV, sometimes you'll pan to the crowd and you'll see one of the old geezers standing up and pointing at the opposition fans in a threatening gesture. Well, if that was Preston, that'd be me. That'd be me. Yeah, I'm usually the last one to sit down. I don't have a gut. That's almost what distinguishes me.
Okay, well, I don't really know how any of that's helping, but thank you.
Well, I'm just saying it's part of the match day experience is to trade insults.
Well, shall I tell you what I think a good match day experience is?
Oh, go on then.
It's easy to park near the ground and it's not extortionately expensive.
I'm with you there, George.
Yes, well, of course. I mean, who's sensible wouldn't want that?
Luckily, I have
a
special radio pass.
And many like me want the facilities to be comfortable. I want a comfortable seat.
Yes.
I want to be able to get to the toilet easily. I want there to be good, reasonably priced food on offer. And I want to be able to sit with my friends and enjoy the game without fear of intimidation. If I want to sing a song, I would like to sing a song without any risk at all of being punched for it.
I don't know. Sorry.
What about that do you not like?
None of it, George. You're sucking the juice out of the delight out of the match day experience.
So sorry. So just if I can just pick you up there, you want to not be able to park conveniently.
No, I said I've got a press pass.
You want to be uncomfortable.
Again, press pass special area.
You want to not be able to find the toilet or speak to your friends, and you'd like to feel intimidated. And how much do you want to pay for this privilege?
Well, you've not understood me from the beginning. I do actually get special favours due to my job, so I can often get in, and I have to. And the worst thing about that, you see, because I do go on the terraces, but when you get in and you're in the director's area, and one of their one of the opposition takes one of yours down, you're not allowed to swear. I stand up and I'm pointing with my Preston shirt on. I usually wear an away shirt because that's more, I don't know, says more. And I'm pointing and I'm about to swear and think, oh, blimey, I'm in this, the director's box. And it takes it away from you.
Okay, so what I'm getting here then is that all of those things that I said, you're quite happy to have for yourself, but you don't want for anybody else. Is that correct?
No, it's just that it happens to be that way.
I think everybody should get to enjoy that.
Pleasurable. You think going to football's pleasurable experience? I think this is where we've got our wires crossed, George. It's almost a necessity. It's an inner rage that needs to be unleashed from time to time. And if things go bad, they can go very bad. Of course, you're very happy when they win, and loads of emotions come out, more than when children are born or you're getting married and things like that. And similarly, I would say you never get as upset at a real life rival in a pub fight as you would say a team that's just relegated you.
Well, I mean, one of the advantages of being a fully paid up neutral is, of course, your team never gets relegated because you don't have one.
But you don't win either, George.
No. It's fantastic. You always know exactly what's going to happen. You're going to turn up early, and let's say you're going to go and see Fulham.
Fulham.
Have a nice walk by the river.
Yeah, lovely. Putney Bridge.
A couple of pints with and you have a flick through, do the Guardian crossword. Whilst you're waiting.
We steamed Fulham as well.
Did you? That's good to know. A leisurely walk to the ground. They do some very, very nice lentil burgers these days at Fulham.
George, did you hear my jaw dropping onto the desk then? Who's eating lentil burgers apart from that Lincoln Green, whatever they're called?
Well, me and Tristram to start with. And I can assure you that if they didn't think they were going to sell them, they wouldn't be bringing them, would they?
Can I ask you what Tristram is?
I'm not with you.
What's Tristram?
Well, he's a cultural studies professor at the...
Well, it's a man's name.
Yes.
Okay, right. So you go with a man.
Yes.
Who does he support?
We can. Well, he's the vice president of Neutral Zone.
No,
He
no. Who did he used to support before he decided to get onto this malarkey?
Well, he did have a fondness for Leeds for a while.
Yes, see? And who did you used to support, Mr. Jessup, before you got on this social justice trip?
I supported Chelsea in my youth, but we're evolved people. We're smart, mature people. We see past this cheap tribal nonsense.
Well, there's no one to insult. This is the thing. There's nothing I can say to you, George. I can't. Boo. Do you think it should be illegal? Well, if that's what you've reduced me to. And that, boo now as you're about to take a drink. That's the most harm that you think you're going to come to. And I'm not even paying attention to the game. I'm just going boo in your ear. You see, you've spoiled it all. You've taken.
I'd hate you to get the idea that we're not fully involved in the matches that we attend.
Oh, right. Perking up. What do you do?
Well, I can tell you that just after our soft launch of Neutral Zone, we ran a competition for members to come up with chants for neutrals to sing during matches.
Have you tried out the chants?
Yes, we have. The winner of the competition, we had a lot of entries, 18 entries, but the winner was, and I'll see if I can do it for you now, Neutral Boys, we are here, watch the match and then go home. Which is witty.
Yeah, I know the tune you're alluding to, the sexual and drinking prowess. Mentioned
but you will agree that it is humorous and ironic even.
I could. Have you got any others?
Well, third place was We Are the Neutrals, but I didn't think that was particularly inspired. Oh heavens, what was the other?
Where are you positioned in the ground?
Well, you just get tickets wherever you can.
What unritualistic violence did you suffer, George?
It did again involve Millwall. This was a game against Reading, which I was attending.
That's quite tasty, Reading. They're underrated.
Good
crew.
Tristram and I were in the Reading end, and we had started singing the song and.
Well, hang on, which song?
Neutral Boys, we are here, and the terrible thing was, the pasties at that ground are quite superb. I can tell you,
they are.
The toilets are spotless.
Very nice.
And I thought we were sitting.
So you're talking Madejski Stadium? No, you're not talking Elm Park.
No, it wasn't.
Good heavens, Elm Park wasn't like that.
No. Well, the chaps that we were sitting next to were telling us how the ground used to be. It sounded absolutely horrific.
Did he tell you how the North End took Elm Park in '78?
No.
Yet another of our little away victories. Do continue.
I thought we'd been getting on perfectly well with these chaps. One of them had said he was a librarian, which that
tickles you, does it, George?
Well, it now in retrospect. Yes, but at the time I was staggered at how fast an angry librarian could move, and the language.
Oh, George, you don't know librarians. Go on.
Language.
Yeah.
No, it's only for the quick thinking of a police officer that we were able to escape intact. So
you didn't learn any kind of lesson from this experience. Maybe you should have a separate enclosure. Although, of course, you would then run the risk of being attacked by both sides.
Well, I don't think that is the lesson. I think that the lesson is the need for firmer and more visible representation. Hence, Neutral Zone, and we will be lobbying the Minister for Culture and Sport to that effect.
What are you going to ask him for?
But there's this assumption that everybody who attends a football match is there to support one side or the other.
But they are.
Well, we're not.
Well, how many have you got? 16?
38.
That's less than dying of COVID, that is.
Well, Yes, but our ranks are swelling.
I don't get it. So you don't cheer for the goals?
Well, sometimes if we feel like it, but, you know.
So a 0-0 is as good as a 3-3 or a 5-4?
Well, it depends on the 0-0, doesn't it?
Football is an ever-evolving soap opera of characters and clashes and rivalry and revenge.
I and many like me see it as a nice afternoon out.
This is where your London bubble protects you from reality, you see. If I was to take down to I'm going as soon as they let us back in, I'll be going. I'll take a little survey down. I'll go, would you describe your experience of coming to watch Preston North End as a nice afternoon out? And I will report back to you the number of percentage of people that say, yes, that's what it's about. And I can guess what it's going to be.
So how are you going to do that from the director's box?
Oh, that's, very snarky. Well, I've got assistants, so,
You've got assistants?
I have.
You haven't got a researcher or a producer here. There's just you.
I didn't say researcher or producer. Match day assistants.
You don't appear to be mob-handed.
That's because ars est celare artem, as the Latins used to say. The art is to hide the art. I thought you would have known that, George, from Hampstead Heath or wherever you are.
Well, just Holloway Road, really. And yes, I do pop into the Emirates from time to time, and very, very nice it is too.
Have you seen what it's come to? The Emirates. It's not got a proper name now. And it's also the name of the team that's won the FA Cup the most times since it sponsored that stadium. Don't you find that a little bit suspicious, George?
Well, what are you sensing? Some sort of conspiracy?
The facts are this. This stadium was sponsored by the Emirates, the same as the FA Cup. A certain London team that plays in red with horrible white sleeves, doesn't even look like a football kit, has coincidentally harvested almost all the success in the tournament sponsored by the same bloody people. Do you find that at all suspicious?
Do you have evidence of nefariousness?
Did you watch the cup final?
I did watch the cup final, yes.
With Tristan?
Yeah.
Tristan
he cooked the most fantastic curry. We watched it round at his house.
So it was ex-Leeds, wasn't he, Tristan? You said you had a soft spot for Chelsea.
Yeah, I used to.
Tell me that ref was not a bent cut. I've no great love for them ponces down at Chelsea, as you know, but I mean that looks a bit bent to me.
Yes, I thought the handling incident outside the area was a little bit, and the sending off was preposterous.
But am I getting a reaction? Preposterous sending off.
Yeah, that's
angry about that.
That Kovacic.
Did you not get out of your seat and shout things?
Well, I didn't actually see it because I'd just gone off to get some mango chutney from the kitchen. Tristan told me all about it, and it sounded awful.
My head's in my hand again here, George. You can't go out the room to cook in the cup final.
Tristan had done he brought the curry and
Don't you have a mini television in the kitchen unit like I do in case I miss a goal? Not that Preston's ever on.
No, it's Radio 4 tends to be on in the kitchen. I did catch just quite a quick flash of a very, very interesting programme on intersectionality.
That grabbed your attention as Aubameyang was careering into the... Well, I'd like to say, George, good luck with your project, but I can't see this one. I can't see that. How did your Zeno book sell? Have you finished it yet?
Nearly there.
Okay, George, it's been a pleasure, as ever. Come back when you've got a better idea. And we'll just play out now with the Monkees, I'm a Believer.